Hello all! Today I'm going to unbag and take a look at Command Magazine, issue number 43 from May of 1997. This is a war game magazine that contains a war game, and the war game that it has in here is the Battle of Chattanooga from Chris Perello. And that battle took place between November 23rd to the 25th was the primary heat of the battle, and I'm unbagging this and taking a look at this on the anniversary of that. So join me as we take a look at this. I'll do a little bit of a page through of Command Magazine, but we'll really kind of do a quick look at the game inside as well. I picked this up as part of a Noble Knight sale many months ago. So, and if you're interested in getting something from Noble Knight, check out my code. It's in the description, and I'll put it in the comments as well. If you follow that link, I get some store credit, and I'll buy more of these and do more of these videos talking about this stuff. That's a minor ask. But yeah, appreciate it. Take a look at that link, follow that link, and see what Noble Knight has to offer you. This magazine, however, is a little worn and actually is annotated. I'll show you a little bit of that, but still very serviceable, and the game is in very good condition. So and unpunched. So I usually try to get stuff unpunched because I like punching it myself. Anyway, so let's look at the magazine first here. Command Magazine from May of 1997. This is issue 43. Let's go on a little close and personal. We've got several articles in here, including defeat in the Philippines, and then we have a whole background article for the Battle of Chattanooga, which is the main reason I picked this up. So let's get this out of the way here. Here's all the stuff that is the war game itself. So we have short rounds. These are just regular pieces and articles. Egypt versus Libya, 1977. American conquest of Guam. So we got some pretty interesting little articles in here. B-29 carpetbagger missions in Korea. Okay. And here is an ad for a game here. 3 days in July. Interesting looking there. Here's that Philippines article. Hell broke loose this morning. The first Philippine campaign, 1941 to 1942. Just got a full article in here on that, including an order of battle. Very cool. A lot of stuff going on here. Some Corregidor and some side articles in here. Then we have the Battle of Boyne, Ireland. Got a full article on that. I did not see that, so I'll have to pick that up and take a look at that, including an order of battle as well. And some cool looking maps on this. I have a couple games on that. Very nice. Well, this is a relatively large article. Then we have the Easter Rising, Irish history over there. So we had two Irish history. You had that Battle of Boyne, probably mispronouncing that, was part one, and this is part two. This is 1916, Dublin. And some street maps in there as well. Very cool. And the IRA today, a little bit of an organizational structure. Then we get to Chattanooga. And as it says here, this battle was, maybe it's not on here, maybe it's on another page. This is kind of the setup for it. I mean, Chattanooga is the result of a Confederate victory at Chickamauga, which the Union forces retreated up to Chattanooga, and then the Confederate forces kind of sieged them, but Bragg was kind of slow to act, and allowed Chattanooga to be reinforced, and they actually kind of came under new management. Grant took over in late October, and it was kind of a victory lost in this case, where the Confederate forces could have pushed even harder into Chattanooga and maybe could have pushed the Union forces even further north and out of Confederate territory. So this is the siege of Chattanooga. This is kind of the setup for the situation. And as you can see here, I got some interlineations. I got a little bit of markings here where whoever owned this before was interested in the dates. They mainly marked out the dates. Here's the order of battle for the Confederate forces of Chattanooga. And then we get the setup. Here's the 24th, and that's the day I'm posting this. So we've got the part of the siege there. And then the 25th. And then the outcome. Then we've got some more articles, Tecumseh. So this is pretty thick on articles. This is a very solid issue. Not a lot of war game content, more history. This is more straight history with the game in tied to it. And there you have it. That's my page through of Command magazine. Now let's look at the game itself. So we've got, actually the previous owner printed me out some errata. Thank you for that. And here are the rules. The rules are separate here, which is kind of nice. 20 pages of rules, but there's some ads and stuff in here. Actually, the rules themselves are only 15 pages of rules, because the rest of this is regular editions or sections of the Command magazine. So here's Commander's Call by Ty Bomba, who I believe was the editor of this during this time period. So you got about 15 pages of rules, dual column, black and white, but decent size font so you can actually see and read the rules there. Here's an explanation of the counters. And there's quite a lot of counters. This is kind of a mega game for a magazine. There's like two and a half counter sheets and 2 full maps. Very interesting. Here's your leaders. So that's your rules. And it came with the player aid, which is on, a little bit thicker paper, not tremendously thick, not like what you normally see in a box game, but still a little bit thicker. And expanded turn sequence. So we got a little player aid there. Then we'll look at the counters, and I might have to pull out for the maps. So there's that half counter sheet. And they're typical of 1997 magazine counters, very thin. Probably a little bit nibby when you poke them out. So probably, well, if you're a counter clipper, you probably have to do that. Here's a Confederate sheet. And double-sided, of course. And then the Union sheet. And they have a color code. I imagine that's for the order and command system that's in here. And now I'm going to pull back for the maps. Well, I hope you don't get seasick, because I went handheld on this because the map takes up a good chunk of my table. There is Chattanooga. As you pan out here, you can see the Tennessee River. And there's a lot of, you have your combat results table, bombardment table, force march table, terrain effects chart. So you get all your nice tables up here. You got a turn track and a day track. Got some reserves and extra strength tracks down here. Then we have Lookout Mountain right here. That kind of overlooks the Tennessee River. Some more charts over here as well. A large, long ridge there right outside the town. So there is the map. So quite a bit in this game here. I'm going to put this in Kilroy's Bargain because I got a part of the sale, and got 2 full maps and 2.5 counter sheets and pull-out rules. Very nicely done here. So yeah, so let's take a look at some of this stuff here. Got all those counter sheets here. Put the Union forces in Chattanooga. Confederate forces on the outside there. Player aids. Rules. There you have it. Quite a bit in the magazine here, which came with some errata as well, printed out by the previous owner. So there you have it. That is Command Magazine issue 43, posted in this on the anniversary of the Battle or Siege of Chattanooga. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching.